Hello everybody, it is me, Real American Politics, here today with a new video, and today we're going to take a break from modern politics, modern news, etc., and take a look at what 2024 could show for us. Now, 2024, I'm predicting will be Josh Hawley versus Andrew Cuomo in 2024. And in this scenario, Trump would win the election in 2020, against Joe Biden by around 300 electoral votes. So we're just going to take a deep dive on my prediction on a possible Josh Hawley versus Andrew Cuomo 2024 election, which is very likely. I believe it's going to be Hawley or Tucker Carlson, Republicans, and for Democrats, Gavin Newsom, Andrew Cuomo. I don't think any of the progressives have a chance. But yeah, for now, we have to start with the map. Now, we got to fill in the safe states. Alaska would maybe get a little bit tighter. Maybe like a point tighter, but it won't get any closer. California is going to be safe blue. Washington's going to be safe blue. Idaho is going to be safe red. It's not going to trend blue. Don't give me that nonsense. Wyoming's safe red. Montana is going to be safe red, but it will probably get closer this time around. Trends are showing it's kind of moving both directions a little bit. It's both moving Republican and Democrat at the same time in some areas. The Dakotas are safe. Maine's 3rd District, 1st District, and Maine at large is safe. Utah is safe. Oklahoma is safe. Missouri is safe. Iowa is safe. Indiana is safe. Kentucky, West Virginia, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, South Carolina, Maine's 2nd District. Illinois will be safe blue. Hawaii is safe blue. Maryland is safe blue. So is D.C., Delaware, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New York. But with the Northeast and Vermont, it could get closer, especially with Hawley on the ballot. He could very well appeal to some suburbanites up here, and appeal to Trump's gains he made in like upper state New York, New Hampshire, kind of like the more rural parts of the states. And yeah, that is pretty much the safe map. Now, we gotta take a look at the competitive states. Well, not competitive states, the likely states. Oregon would be likely blue. I think Hawley would make it within 8 or 9, but I don't think he can win it. Kansas would probably be safe red. You have the fact that it's trending a little bit bluer. But with Hawley on the ballot, he appeals kind of to the establishmentarian base in Kansas. I forgot that. The state of Texas would probably be likely. You could see a trend red with Hawley because he can appeal to more establishmentarian types. Another likely state would probably be Ohio. Definitely Ohio. Borderline safe. Virginia at this point would probably be likely blue. It's probably gone for the Republicans for now, but it could get interesting eventually. That's the likely states. Well, other than Maine's 1st District. Now, we gotta talk about the actual competitive states. These are pretty much the real battlegrounds, I should say. The reason we're gonna start with the west to the east, I'm gonna explain why I have each as a battleground. So, we're gonna start in the great state of Nevada. Nevada is an interesting state Republicans could easily make gains in. They definitely can make gains in Clark County, and Hawley could seriously flip the state. I do think he would. He could appeal to some of those people in Las Vegas suburbs, and the excerpts of it. He could appeal better than Trump could. And he can keep the Trump gains he made in the upper state. So it's very well possible. Now we got Arizona. This is a state where it's funny because, yes, Hawley is a populist economically, but he could appeal to Arizona better than Trump ever could. He can appeal to suburbanites. He's not outlandish like Trump is. He's pretty well-toned, I should say. I think he could keep the state of Arizona. He would probably win it by around 2-3 points. Hawley can appeal to suburbanites fairly easy. Way easier than Trump ever could. Colorado. The reason I have Colorado as a toss-up is because Hawley's only one that can seriously just keep the gains Trump made in the western and the eastern part of the state, but at the same time make gains in more Denver suburbanites He could make gains there, but I can't see him winning it. I think it's going to go lean Cuomo. Cuomo kind of has an appeal, I guess, to that state. But if Republicans push for legal weed, decriminalization of it, and push for some kind of healthcare plan like Rand Paul's, they could easily flip that state fairly easily. Now we got the state of New Mexico. New Mexico is a state where I don't see it flipping, but if Trump can make gains like he is currently, and Hawley can keep those gains, New Mexico might be within 4 in 2024. But right now, I don't see him gaining that much to say, okay, New Mexico is going to go from likely blue to lead blue. The data's not there. Nebraska's first. It's a very weird district, but I think it's going to just tilt the Hawley. If Trump can win that district, I think pretty much any Republican can, other than John McCain. So that's fairly reasonable, I think. Now let us get to the Sun Belt. Personally, Hawley, I think, would win the state of Georgia by around 4 or 5 points. It has the same appeal to Texas, but I don't think it's as strong. Georgia is more neocon in reality than Texas, if you actually look at it. And with the suburbs of Georgia and just Atlanta just growing so fast, it's going to go Democrat first before Texas. So that's kind of obvious if you didn't know. But however, I think Hawley could easily keep the gains that DeSantis made in 2018 and Trump made in 2016, and gain more in the Palm Beach area, just do better in Hillsborough, the Panhandle, etc., and just do better in Duval. He probably will. But that's just my opinion. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But that's just more of my opinion on things. Now we got the great state of North Carolina. I think Hawley's going to win the state by a decent margin. Probably by 3, 4, maybe even 5. He may make the state trend redder. Cuomo could have an appeal there, but I don't see it in reality. But he could seriously have an appeal in any of these states, like North Carolina, Georgia, Florida. But in reality, I don't think so. Like, the only state I can see him having the biggest appeal is probably Arizona, with all those New Yorkers just moving in. He could probably have appeal to some of those neoliberals. It's possible, but I don't really see it, because Cuomo's kind of an extremely weak candidate in reality. Now it's time for the Rust Belt. I think we're going to start in the state of Wisconsin. I think it's going to lead to Hawley. If you don't know, Wisconsin is populist heavy, and Hawley is going to do way better in the suburbs, the WoW counties, Waukesha, Washington, etc. And he's going to do better in Racine, Kenosha than Trump ever could. Well, barring the riots pushing over the edge for Trump by like 4 points, but that's probably not going to happen. So Trump is probably going to make gains in the WoW counties. Hawley's probably going to make some huge gains in the WoW counties and keep the gains Trump made in the rural part of the state. And that'll make that state probably about 2-3 points to Hawley. Now we got the state of Michigan, which I don't see Hawley winning. I think that's probably the last time Michigan's probably going to be a Democrat state for lean to tilt. I really do, because there's still just that big Detroit area, and Hawley, I just don't think he can win that same energy that Trump had in 2016. Because there's a lot of just Democrats still in the state of Michigan, and I just don't see him appealing that much as Trump did in the state of Michigan. Pennsylvania is a state where I think Hawley could probably win it by a point, maybe 2. That's kind of it. That's kind of the main 3 Rust Belt. I'll get to Minnesota a little bit, because that's going to be an interesting one. Now we got the state of New Hampshire. It's trending red, but I think Andrew Cuomo will find a way to win it by probably 1,000 votes or so. It's just that close of a state, and plus, he's from the Northeast. He'll do better in the Northeast than Biden could, because Biden is from Pennsylvania and Delaware. I don't think he has the same appeal as Cuomo does, as he's the governor of New York. So that also helps him at Maine at large. I think that it's probably going to lean Democrat. Cuomo will probably do good there. Probably do a little bit better in the 1st district than Biden will. That's just kind of looking at it because of the Northeast advantage. And then we got the state of Minnesota. Oh boy, this is one of the most intriguing states for the next couple of years. If Trump can win it, I think Minnesota will become a fairly red state in 4 years. I think Hawley will win it. He's just going to, like, again, he's going to have the gains that Trump had. He may lose a little bit of energy, a little bit from the rural part of the state, but if he could just make some of those gains from the Mitt Romney suburbanite voters, suburban women, he's going to win Minnesota probably. And that's pretty much all the states. That's pretty much my prediction. So Republicans will actually do a lot better if they pick Hawley. They may do weaker in a state like Georgia, but they'll make a state like Arizona probably trend right at a point. But personally, Hawley's probably the best choice, not named Carlson, because if you have Carlson, you can probably have Oregon flipped, make the Northeast closer. You could probably flip Michigan and probably make Wisconsin likely. But that's just here or there. But the thing is, I think Hawley's the best candidate overall. He probably has the most appeal. He can appeal to Trump's base and can appeal to suburbanites, the Mitt Romney, the John McCain voters, who are still kind of that iffy on Trump. He could probably win those back easily, and that could help the Republicans big time. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you guys did, hit the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends. We'll try to get to 250 subs by next Thursday. That'll be phenomenal. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.